I know it's been like almost 2 or 3 months, right? And everybody was like, "Oh my God, when are you coming back?" Well, I don't really have that big of a fan page. Let's just be honest. I'm just starting, some things. Um, Trying not to be as ratchet as I was in the first half. But I'm just gonna be honest. The first part was a little hard because I was in the process of moving from one location to another location, and it was a little frustrating. So, update on that. Um, Still looking for a good place to stay. It's been kind of hard. Um, One thing I have learned though, when it comes down to apartments, you got to be careful about these people, man. Especially if you're a woman, people really do take advantage. And I didn't think about it at first because I was just like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. We have good rapport, please. And today I wanted to do a video because it needs to be said. I just feel like there's so much stuff going on in this world. Somebody's got to say it. And yes, I did get taken down for a little bit because I was probably saying a little too much truth. But let's be honest. Somebody has to say it. Everybody walks around like, oh, let's pretend like there's nothing going on. Let's just be real with some stuff. So, here's one thing I want to talk about. You know how it comes down to voting and stuff? So, I always wanted to ask somebody this. How come everybody preaches on us about voting, right? That the first thing they want to say is your ancestors died for that right. They did this, they did that, they did this, they did that. Really, because it seems to me that the people that control that are a part of the electoral colleges, right? So, yes, our vote matters, but how come whenever we bring up such situations like healthcare, bring up situations like, unemployment, bring up situations like normal stuff like, hunger, stuff that most people would talk about. How come whenever somebody says something like that, they're always in trouble, they always end up getting attacked, they always end up getting followed? Some things that you probably don't know. Yes, in the process of me going through what I was going through, I was being followed. A lot of people didn't like the fact that where we were talking in my family a lot of truth because let's just be real. There is a lot of racism. I'm not going to sit here and pretend and sugarcoat it. There is a lot of racism. We can pretend all day long. We can sit there and say every single time that it's 2021 and it shouldn't matter and blah blah blah. If it didn't matter, a lot of people wouldn't have died. Okay? You wouldn't have had, your Michael Browns. You wouldn't have had your Trayvon Martins or the George Floyd. Listen, the thing about it, the reason why my generation is so pissed off, because let's just be honest, you guys have tried to lie to us so much. The whole situation, when we were going through stuff, we were kids when 9/11 happened. Can we just be honest about that? We were children, probably like 5 years old. We didn't understand what was going on. Everybody kept lying to us. I'll never forget when I was in the second grade, my teacher basically told me that Martin Luther King was so smart. This is let's listen to what I have to say and say this is not retarded what she said. Forgive me for saying this, but this is not alleged. This is actually accurate facts. When I was learning about our history, right? So I decided I wanted to do my speech or something on Black History Month. She basically told me Martin Luther King was so smart that he went all the way from elementary school and middle school and jumped and graduated to college. That's what she told me. Told everybody else the right answer, but told me that. I am not trying to say that, oh, all certain races are so racist. That's not the moral of the story. The moral of the video is basically to state that people say whatever they want to say to get by, so when their time comes, they can do what they want to do. Perfect example. Obama was in office. Who was behind him? I'm not going to say his name, but you know who. He was the vice president. We thought we were making history because we had the first black president, right? Yes. Yes, that was really, we did make history, didn't we? We did make history, did we not? But we also thought we also made history because we had the first vice president to be not only a biracial, but a female at that, right? So how come every time when we think that we're making change, that we think the certain party, I'm not stating any names, but the certain party of people are for us, seems to always hide their hand and throw stones? But when we talk about the other party, who we say is conservative all the time, who we say is so mean and evil, really are up to stuff. So it seems to me that they basically make the Democratic Party appear for the masses, but they're really the ones that do the damage. And then the Republicans are the ones that hide their hand, pretend like they didn't do anything, and then act like everything is that. So basically, are you putting us in groups of demise? Is that what we're doing? I just want a better understanding, because when we're teaching our children these things in high school, in elementary school, in middle school, can we stop lying for a second? Now all of a sudden slaves had like some type of, now it says in the books that slaves were paid. When have you ever read a book where a slave was paid? That's what I'm trying to understand. Everybody got all these things to say. They want to be after us when we want to tell the truth, when we want to learn who our real culture is, when we want to wear our own hair, when we want to be powerful and become somebody and be more than just, Aunt Jemima, basically. Look how long that took for us to even get her face off of the pancake mix. All these years later, we finally got Juneteenth to become a freaking holiday. But look what's going on in the nation. You got folks that's homeless. You got folks that's being chased by people. You got people getting shot and gunned down. People don't understand this stuff. Yes, the Klan is still real. Let's stop pretending like it's not. It's still real. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I'm not going to be no Paul Bunyan, but yes, we need to be careful what we're doing nowadays. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can say. Allegedly. What am I going to say? I mean, hello? I can't keep pretending like I'm with something that I'm not. I grew up in an all-white neighborhood, yes. And a lot of people didn't like me growing up because they were like, oh, she's sitting here trying to pass. No, you didn't have a choice where I was from, okay? You either talked a certain way just to get what you needed, or you were just going to be treated like you were just a mammy. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about all of it. Because if we continue to keep being like this, we're going to keep passing on to these generations a bunch of foolishness. Somebody needs to tell them the truth. Stop making them hate. I'm so sick and tired of these girls hating themselves because you fools get on this internet and embarrass yourself in front of your family members, sitting there thinking it's cute. If you like another race of women, that's your preference. But stop tearing down your race. You came from a black person. What else are you going to do? So what you going to do, dye your skin now? I'm just saying, somebody's got to tell the truth about this stuff. Nobody wants to be honest about this stuff. What are we doing? We're teaching our kids crap. And then we're just going to be wondering like, oh, well, they're not making it in life because of this. No. What do you think I do? Let me tell you something. I basically take care of old people for a living. Better than known, I'm just basically freaking whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you can call it a maid, you can call it whatever you want it, because that's basically what it is, because that's what they all want us to go back to doing. All the more reason why I keep pressing, like, you need to have an education. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what economic statue you are. Whatever situation it is, I don't even care what your religion is. Get yourself an education. Because the more you keep letting the media, the more you keep letting the news, the more you keep letting everything else speak for you and do all this other stuff for you, you're going to keep being depressed about stuff that you ain't got no business being depressed about. What for? What is the purpose? If you keep letting people on social media dictate how you feel about stuff, do you think it's crazy? How much more do we need to keep teaching our kids about being safe on the highway? How much more do we need to say this? Y'all just up and killing us, and just, I mean, allegedly, should I have to say allegedly just so nobody can feel bad? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what else we have to say. It's stupid. Those boys had no reason to get their life taken just because somebody wanted to lie about what they were doing. There's a big difference between a firearm and a taser. Period. You can say alleged all day long, but the truth is the truth and lies are lies. We are getting rid of people for what? Can we be honest about it? You want us to take a vaccine because of what? If we take this vaccine, okay, we take the vaccine. So what happens if I get sick? So do we take it again? Because we have because most vaccines that I know, we have two steps to a vaccine. So my thing about it is it just the flu? Somebody help me understand, because I just want to know. You can call me slow, you can call me dumb, whatever you want to call me. I know what the truth is. You guys know what the truth is. I'm just trying to make sure somebody understands this. Listen, y'all can say whatever you want to say about the Truth Show. She's been telling you guys stuff for the longest. And I just want to make a statement. For real. Big freaking deal. If you don't like her videos, then don't watch them. But what you're not going to do is sit there and be disrespectful and act like you don't understand what's going on. Okay? She's explaining stuff to you plain and simple, and the only thing that you guys want to do is keep looking for the little adjectives that don't make any sense. If she says something about Beyonce, the first thing you guys want to sit there and say, oh, well, she can't have blonde hair. The first thing if she says something about the presidency, then you want to say, well, I guess she's racist. I guess she thinks all white people are racist or all black people are racist. Are you serious? Are you serious? Do you want to understand the truth, or do you not want to understand the truth? First of all, let's just be honest. Person cannot be racist unless they own something. The majority of what race owns almost everything. How can we be racist? We can be prejudiced. We can have a feeling towards a certain group of people, but can we control the way they make money? Can we control the way they have a house? Can we control the way they do stuff? So stop people making a narrative saying that we can be racist because I can't control how you make I can't control that. I can't control it. But back to what I was saying, people really get on my nerves about this stuff. You guys want to get mad at the 90s babies, right? You want to get mad at the 90s babies because now we're 30-something and we want to make a difference. But you coming at us crazy. But you've been lying to us since 9/11. Can we just be honest? Can we just be honest? Because all the stuff that we've been learning in school, you want us to sit there and do all this stuff and do it the way you want it to. And then when we get grown and we have people that are older than us that tell us and show us the actual way, you mean to tell me I'm supposed to be okay with that? Okay. Because I'm just trying to understand what you want me to do. Moral of the story is, can we stop? Can we stop? Well, so we got to teach our kids basically when we drive that we can't have anything that's around we can't have dice around the rear view mirror. Are you serious? But I have friends that sit there and carry weapons that aren't black. Can we just be honest? That do a lot more stuff than I'm going to even say on this channel. But if it was me, if it was anybody else, you want to sit there and stipulate black people, or stipulate anybody that's brown, or stipulate a person, period, just because you want to be ignorant. Who the heck? I mean, I don't know what else to say. People are really ridiculous, right? Is that what it is? People are this retarded? Excuse my language. I'm not going to say that. Allegedly. Are people this insane? I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just going to be honest with what I am saying. How much more training do we have to have for people not to die? Is my question. How much more laws, bills, Congress, meetings that the representatives and the senates have to have for us to have equal opportunity? I'm not saying we have to be equivalent to the next person, but I'm just saying I think it's stupid and ludicrous for someone like me not being able to get an apartment because someone just wants to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand how embarrassing that is? And then people want to sit there and say, oh, it's not race, it's not race, it's not race. What do you think? What's not race then? Because I want to understand why we think it's okay to dog our race to get another race so we can gain something. I was reading in one of my lessons at school about when Jesus was talking about basically when Jesus was talking to the disciples. It was in the book of Matthew. It was Matthew chapter 13. I think it was Matthew chapter 13 verse 3 through 23. And it was talking about seeds. So Jesus was talking in parables, right? He was basically saying that when you have seeds, to be careful where you throw them, right? There were some that had seeds, they thrown them in grass. I'm paraphrasing, so you're gonna have to read the paragraph. I'm just going off of what I interpreted. He threw them in the grass, right? Then there was some that threw them amongst thorns. Then there was some that threw them in stones. So how I look at it is basically like what's going on right now. Those seeds are like gems. When your parents tell you to listen to the people of old because they have nuggets, gold nuggets that can help you along the way. That's what those seeds are. And if you just plant them anywhere, times for when you need them, you're not going to have them. So when you keep planting them, keep going around those same negative people, you're not going to have those seeds that you need to get somewhere. Why is it that whenever God gives us something, we keep letting the devil take it from us? That's my question. You got bad seeds in your garden and you didn't even know it. Who are you to sit there? I'm just trying to help somebody out. All those years, Obama did not know that the person that was working behind him was the way he is right now. And everybody is in awe because everybody was expecting something else. They got caught up in the hype that everything was diverse. It's not diverse like you've seen. The seeds were thrown in places that they shouldn't have been thrown in. So now it's time for us to need the seeds, and we can't use them because the seeds are not there. If a seed is not planted in the ground, it's not going to grow. If you want food, you cannot plant anything if the ground is not tilled for it to bear the seed. You cannot expect yourself to graduate from school if your mind is not ready to. I gotta study. I have to make sure my classes are in order. I gotta make sure I do my homework assignments. I'm turning them on time. I'm meeting every deadline so I can graduate and fill out the application for graduation. I cannot be prepared for work if I'm not on time, if I'm not preparing before I go, if I'm not praying before I go to work. I can't expect God to do stuff for me if I'm always doubting him, if I'm not praying, if I'm not seeking him, if I'm not fasting towards him. You can't expect people to take you serious if you keep thinking on negative things. Where are your seeds? That's my question. We keep looking at the person. We keep looking at this face. We keep looking at this mask. And that person could be masking behind so many other things. Where are you throwing your seeds? All these times we keep putting in, and see, that's the reason why God says he doesn't have respecter of person. Because a lot of people, Luke, the 6th chapter, verse 45 talks about where the heart is. Talks about the good of a man's heart, right? So you can't get upset if you didn't. We don't know each other's hearts. You know what I'm saying? Only he knows that. That's why people are getting shocked about, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, that's happening. You're not paying attention. When God gives you something, listen to him. Whatever it is that you believe in. If you know that your gut is telling you to go, leave. You keep staying in a situation, it's not going to make it any better. So my thing about it is, so when are we going to stop lying? That's my question. When are we going to start telling our kids the truth about what's really going on? And when are we going to stop pretending like, oh, the signs are in front of us, have been there the whole entire time? Are we going to take the signs serious? Or are we going to keep doing like Jesus said about seeds? Throwing them, some threw them in stones, and some threw them in thorns. Is that what we're going to do? So when it comes time for you to eat, are you going to have to look and see where your fruit is? That's what I'm saying. When it comes time for your kids to go somewhere, when it comes time for you to be in front of people, are you going to have to learn the hard way like we had to learn that the person that we thought was really for us is not for us? These people that we keep putting on pedestals, we keep telling everybody to vote. We keep telling everybody to do all these things. I'm not saying don't vote. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we keep telling everybody to say all these things. We keep promoting stuff that had no business being promoted. Where are your seeds is my thing. On another episode of SMS News Channel, and I'll be back with more.